So what I've got for you today is, I think, maybe the most advanced technique for delaying ejaculation. It's super powerful. It might be the only thing you ever need. So you can imagine if you've been a premature ejaculator before, you've had struggles with this, watching this video really might solve it. I'm not kidding. This is a really, really advanced technique. I doubt you will ever see it anywhere else. Super powerful. So I'm going to teach you that technique. And then if you stick around to the end, I'm going to tell you where you can get a free download, PDF outlining this and 5 other super powerful techniques. I think the most powerful ejaculation delaying techniques out there. And then I'm also going to share with you how I can absolutely guarantee, I'm willing to step out and guarantee total ejaculation control, so you can just call your shot every time with absolute perfect control over your ejaculation. I'm going to tell you all of that in this video. So let's begin with what I believe, like I said, is really one of the most advanced and sophisticated techniques that you will probably never see anywhere else. So I call this the field of attention technique, and it's based upon advanced meditation techniques. And if you're a meditator, then this is all going to make a lot of sense. If you're not a meditator, stick with me. So everything inside of your life, everything, all of your awareness, everything you're aware of, every sight, sound, whether you're having sex or you're at work, everything is happening inside of your state of awareness. Now, within your state of awareness is a bunch of stuff you're just not paying any attention to. Like right now you're listening to me, but the rest of the room is still there and you're kind of aware of it. You're maybe aware of that there's like somebody in the next apartment making noise or something, right? You're kind of aware that there's a lot of stuff going around inside your field of attention. Like you can feel maybe an itch on your back or something like that. But your focus, the point of focus of your attention is on me, my voice, this video, right? So by manipulating that, you can really, really powerfully delay your ejaculation. So when you're having sex and you're afraid that you're going to ejaculate too soon, where your attention, like all of this is happening in your field of consciousness, but where your attention is focused is on your sexual arousal and on your anxiety around the fact that you're probably going to ejaculate too soon and that you're going to be disappointed and you're kind of freaking out and all of that stuff's going on, right? So you're focused on something highly erotic. You're focused on the building intensity of your sexual pleasure. Maybe you can feel your pulse rate going up as your anxiety is going. That's where your attention is. So what we're going to do is we're going to just use our attention. Now, field of consciousness you have no control over. What arises is what arises. You have no control over what you hear and feel, right? It happens. The thoughts that come into your head, in fact, you have very little control over. They just happen, right? But what you do have control over is this pointer, this kind of laser pointer of what you're focusing on. So what you're going to do in this technique is instead of just trying not to focus so much on your arousal, you're going to give your attention something to focus on. And so I recommend that it's not your cock, right? It's not anything on her body. Some of my favorite places to move my focus of attention is to feel the skin on the back of my head. And if you just take a minute right now and kind of notice that, you can probably feel maybe a tingling, an itchy sensation. You can actually take your attention to the back of your head. You can feel the back of your scalp. So just let yourself feel that. Maybe you can feel a draft in the room, some coolness. Maybe if you're making love, you can feel a little bit of sweat back there. So you're just going to focus on there. I also sometimes like to focus on my forearms. I do not recommend you focus on your hands. If you move your attention to your hands, that's dangerous. Your hands might be touching really yummy parts of her body, right, during lovemaking. So not your hands, but maybe your forearms. I also like the soles of the feet, unless the soles of your feet are erotically charged. Again, that might not work as well. Small of the back, again, not a good idea. But the forearms, I like. The back of the scalp, soles of the feet, all really, really powerful. And just what you want to do is not just feel it, but really pay exquisitely close attention to the sensations that you can feel, for example, in your forearms. Really feel every hair on your forearms become exquisitely, tightly attuned to those sensations. And what you'll discover is there's not a lot of room within that focus for the rest of your field of consciousness, like your arousal level, to get in. Now, another way to do this is to take it out of touch feeling entirely and move to sound. And in this case, what you're going to do is you're going to try to really discern the other sounds in the room that aren't your lover's heavy breathing and moaning, because that's going to put you over, right? So what you can really focus on is the sounds of maybe some cars outside in the street. If you live in an apartment, maybe you can hear the neighbors cooking or doing something, clattering some pans in the kitchen. Every room has a certain room hum from the electronics, and your pipes and plumbing in your home make sounds. You really want to like focus in on all of the minute, difficult to hear sounds, and really, really attune. And the more you concentrate on hearing everything in the room, the more powerful this technique is. And if you can do that while at the same time maybe very, very carefully feeling into what's going on with the back of your scalp, if you can do this at the same time, which is not easy, it requires a certain amount of mental development. And again, if you're a lifelong meditator, this is snap. This is super easy for you. And you may have already figured this out for yourself, and you might not be a premature ejaculator anymore because this really works, super works. So, but practice makes this more powerful. You can actually become very, very attenuated and good at your ability to focus attention on what arises within your field of consciousness. And this is a very, very powerful technique, maybe the most powerful technique for delaying orgasm. I got 5 more of them that are also fantastic. They're a little easier. This one's actually the most complicated, but also I think maybe the most powerful of them. I got 5 more. You get them for free in a little PDF download that I'm going to link to somewhere in the video, or certainly in the description below. I want you to go get that. And also on that page, I'm going to talk to you about the difference between delaying your orgasm and having complete control over it, which is an entirely different way of looking at this problem. And it's incredibly powerful. And it's, again, there's a big difference between delaying and controlling. And if you're interested in having complete control, really heroic, complete control over your ejaculation, regardless of where you are now, whether you're like a hopeless premature ejaculator or you're just looking to, wow your woman with having like even more control, this might be something that you want to check out. I'm going to be teaching a little class on it, and it's incredibly simple when you get it, but it is too long to explain in a YouTube video. It just is. My apologies, but it's good because then I have something that I can kind of hold back and charge you money for. So anyway, come over and check it out and at least get the free download. And let me tell you a little bit more about what I intend to do to try and teach as many men as I possibly can this unbelievable technique for controlling your ejaculation, because it's super cool. And I hope to see you on the other side.